You guys have seen the film. What do you think the offense needs to work on this week?
Being more consistent. That's the first thing that you take away from looking at the film. We had a little dip in the middle of the ball game where we weren't executing at the same level we were early on or late in the ball game. So we can work on our consistency and put together drives in every single quarter that can result in points. That's definitely going to help us out and help out the whole team.
How do Jewel and Adam complement each other as co-running backs?
I think they have very similar styles of running the ball, and they're very productive with what they do. They're very productive in the pass game, pass protection, and getting out on routes. So, since they have very similar styles, it shouldn't be too drastic of a change when one of them has to come out and put the other one in. So that's a huge bonus that we can keep moving forward, even if we have substitution in the middle of a ball game.
How's the knee?
The knee's fine. It's been fine, since Saturday. It was just a little sore, and luckily it was nothing to be worried about.
Did you worried at first a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. At first I was worried, but then once I would talk to the trainers, there wasn't anything to worry about. So I was more confident about what they had told me.
Did you hear everybody kind of gasp, go quiet, or when you're on the field, do you even notice that?
No, I didn't really notice that. I was more focused on what might have been wrong at the time, so that's kind of where my head was at.
You've been a part of this rivalry for a couple years now. What does it mean to you, and can you tell by Iowa fans what it means to them?
Yeah, definitely you can tell, being in the state of Iowa, what this game means to both sides, and it's very important. It's a rivalry. It's important that we, as players, prepare the same way, and make sure that we're confident heading into the ball game. And I think that's where we're at. We understand it's a rivalry. They're a very good ball club. They're well coached. It's not going to be an easy ball game, and we have to be ready to go if we want to have a chance to win, and that starts today.
Can you feel a different vibe, whether it's in Jack Trice or in Kinnick, when these two teams meet?
I don't know if there's a different vibe early on right now in the week. We're just trying to prepare for the ball game, like I said. So the game's played by the players on the field, and it doesn't matter if it's there or if it's here. It's going to be a tough ball game. So you can kind of throw out the location. That doesn't really matter. They've beaten us in our stadium. We've beaten them in there. I mean, vice versa. It's happened. Game's been won on both turfs, so it's not like there's some a glaring statistic there that makes it something to talk about. There's really nothing to mention when it comes to location. It's just how well we can prepare to face them on Saturday, and it doesn't matter where the game's played.
Do you think Iowa State's a better team than you played last year?
Yeah, I mean they're improved. They've lost some guys that they had last year, but it doesn't mean that they've fallen off in those positions. I think they're very good in all the positions that they've had to replace guys. They had guys last year that have played a lot that are now starting. So it's not like they don't have any experience in those positions, and they play very hard. They play very well. So we're gonna have to be ready to go.
Coach said last year was kind of the score was not relevant to maybe how close the game was. You guys got to be probably expecting a closer game this year between Iowa State.
Every year we expect a close game every week, so that doesn't really change. So we're not expecting a blowout by any means. We're expecting a tough game, and we had that mentality right after Eastern game going into this game. There was no thinking that it's going to be a blowout by any means.
You only, I think, missed 5 balls on Saturday, 18-23. Did you feel like that was a strong opening effort from you when you went back and looked at the tape?
It sounds good and it looks good on paper, but there was definitely some passes that should have been made that were easy, that could have made that number even better, and then I would have been happy with it. So, I mean, like I said, it looks good on paper, but it's definitely not anywhere near where it should have been coming from a fifth-year senior play.
What's the challenge of facing their secondary? Because a lot of people think that might be the strength of their defense.
I think they do a good job of disguising their looks. They have very fast guys who are able to get to the ball very quickly and make plays on the football, which is very important. So we're going to have to be able to execute, which means we're going to have to be very sharp in what we do in order to be able to combat what they're doing to us, and that's why we practice, and that's really where our focus is right now.
Thanks.
Are you kind of interested to see how things turn out with Jewel? I mean, obviously you're interested, but
Yeah.
do you know? You kind of know what you're going to see there?
I mean, I'm not the coach. I don't know what the rotation is or anything like that. I know that he's ready to play, and I'm sure he will play. And so, we'll have to see on Saturday. We've been practicing. I mean, I've practiced with those guys in camp, so it's kind of like it's a new thing for me to hand off to somebody else. I'm not really worried about any of that. So we'll have to see when we hit the field on Saturday.
Just emotionally getting back into it for a running back. I imagine he said he's starving. He said he wants to get in and play.
Yeah.
Is it? What do you expect? You say you've been hanging off to him in practice. Has there been any sort of rhythm there with either back?
Yeah, I think both those guys do a great job. They know the offense extremely well, so I think they have very good rhythm when they hit the field. And I don't really have any expectations for it, to be honest. We'll have to see how they play on Saturday, and they've always played very well in the past. I'm sure they'll be confident heading into the ball game with the game plan, and they'll be ready to go.